It has been revealed that an explosive leak has emerged from the boardroom of JPMorgan Chase, stating that Ripple's CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, is presently the top external candidate to succeed Jamie Dimon as CEO. This news has startled both Wall Street and the cryptocurrency industry. Absolutely, you did hear that accurately. It has been reported that Brad Garlinghouse, the same executive who has been at the center of the cryptocurrency revolution, battling regulators, pushing for global adoption of XRP, and leading Ripple to a dominant position in cross-border payments, is now being seriously considered for the position of leading the largest bank in the United States. According to a document that was classified as confidential and was leaked from the internal succession planning process, Garlinghouse's name is not only included on the list of external successors, but it is also at the very top of the list. This decision, if it is validated, has the potential to start off the most momentous pivot in the history of banking and to herald an official changing of the guard from the era of legacy finance to the era of digital assets. Without a doubt, this is a poetic statement. Over the course of the last 10 years, Jamie Dimon has been one of the most vocal skeptics of cryptocurrency. JPMorgan has been continuously positioned as a proponent of traditional finance, and he has referred to Bitcoin as a hoax. He has also dismissed blockchain technology as unimportant. Behind the scenes, however, JPMorgan has been making significant investments in the infrastructure of blockchain technology. JPM Coin has been produced by the bank, its own tokenization platforms have been launched, and the firm has even participated in experimental implementations of blockchain technology for international settlements. A great number of people have observed this duality. Although the bank's public face continues to be cautious, the bank's internal operations are able to see very clearly where the future is headed. However, now that it has been claimed that Jamie Dimon is getting ready to retire, the board is looking for a replacement who is familiar with the technology that is influencing global finance. Not only does this refer to someone who talks about innovation, but it also refers to someone who has really built it. In addition, Brad Garlinghouse is an excellent example of that type. For a crypto boss, Brad Garlinghouse is hardly your normal example. There is no maximalist in him. In no way is he a provocateur. Previous to his current position, he had senior executive positions at Yahoo and AOL. He is an experienced business leader who has knowledge in traditional finance. Ripple went from being a little blockchain startup to a worldwide payments behemoth that collaborates with over 300 financial institutions all over the world while he was in charge of the company. Through his poise and clarity, he has successfully negotiated legal fights, regulatory uncertainties, and impediments to the acceptance of technical advancements. Garlinghouse's credibility in the world of cryptocurrency and banking is at an all-time high as a result of Ripple's legal clarity in the United States and its extended reach across Asia, the Middle East, and Latin America. This is thanks to the fact that Ripple has expanded its influence across these regions. As JPMorgan strives to maintain its dominant position in a global market that is increasingly becoming more digital, this is precisely the kind of bridge that it requires. Now let's investigate the paper that was stolen. There is a list of internal and external candidates included in the document, which is titled CEO Succession Planning. Garlinghouse is at the top of the list of C candidates from the external pool. The following is not merely conjecture. It has been claimed that a number of board members have shown a strong interest in bringing in an outsider who is familiar. However, the fact that Garlinghouse stands at the top of the list indicates that he is more than simply a name in the field of optics. The consideration is of a strategic nature. JPMorgan is aware of the urgent need to modernize its operations. As a result of the emergence of central bank digital currencies, the increasing tokenization of assets, and the global questioning of old banking structures, leadership that comprehends and supports blockchain technology is no longer a luxury, because it is essential. When it comes to XRP, the ramifications are nothing short of groundbreaking. The markets would immediately reassess the value of XRP in the event that Garlinghouse obtained the position of CEO at JPMorgan. In this context, we are discussing the fact that the leadership of the largest bank in the United States is connected to one of the digital assets that is considered to be the most controversial and robust in the world. That completely alters the scene. There would be a surge of institutional investors who had previously been hesitant to participate, governments would take note, and even regulators would be forced to reconsider their position. The XRP ledger would transition from being considered experimental to being considered important infrastructure, and the very fact that this paradigm shift would occur might cause the price of XRP to skyrocket into the four figures. $1,000 would not be a dream, rather it would be the foundation for what is to come. The board of directors at JPMorgan is apparently divided internally. Despite the fact that a number of directors are excited about the audacious message that would be sent by employing Garlinghouse, others are concerned about the optics of the situation. If a crypto CEO were to be hired, would this alienate regulators or cause confusion among older clients? Do you think that it would be considered a betrayal of Dimon's legacy? These are legitimate concerns. Nevertheless, it is possible that they will soon be overshadowed by a more pressing reality, which is to either adapt or perish. Those financial institutions that do not embrace the forthcoming digital transformation run the risk of falling behind. Playing it safe was not the path that led to JPMorgan becoming the most powerful bank in the world. As a result of making courageous movements at the appropriate time, it became dominant. It's possible that this is one of those times. As for Jamie Dimon, he is not content with his life. The prospect that his successor might come from the crypto sector, which he has spent years disparaging, is said to have sent him into a state of complete and utter rage, according to sources. He is apparently exerting a great deal of effort to secure an inside successor, but the board is aware that the decision has already been made. Dimon's retirement has been a topic of discussion for many years, and now that it is drawing near, they are looking for someone who is capable of guiding the central bank for the next 20 years. Not simply govern the empire it already possesses. There is a roadmap to the future that Garlinghouse provides. While he is aware of the direction in which the industry is heading, he is also aware of how to scale into it without alienating the client base that is already in place. It would be irresponsible of us to disregard the ripple effects that this would have on the larger cryptocurrency ecosystem, if you forgive the pun. There is more to this than just XRP. The fact that a crypto CEO will take over JPMorgan would send a message to the entire world that digital assets have completely crossed the divide. There is no press release or ETF clearance that could ever be able to legitimize the technology in the way that this does. It would compel other financial institutions to speed up their implementation of blockchain technology, a level of institutional investment that has never been. This would disprove the myth that cryptocurrency and banking are completely incompatible with one another. As we go into this new period, they merge into a single entity. It has been stated that Garlinghouse has neither confirmed or denied any contact with JPMorgan, and he has maintained a tough posture in public interviews, choosing not to speak on the matter. But some with knowledge of the situation claim that discussions have taken place in private, most likely through intermediaries. It would take some time for the shift to take place. The possibility exists, however, that an announcement will be made prior to the conclusion of the fiscal year. It is expected that the day that the news is made, the day that the world learns that Ripple's CEO is taking over JPMorgan, will be the most bullish day in the history of financial cryptocurrency. Those who own XRP need to be aware of the seriousness of this situation. It is not merely good news, rather, it is a metamorphosis itself. After years of ambiguity, legal fights, and false information, here is the moment when everything is finally validated in its entirety. Concerning the core infrastructure of global banking, whether or not security is present, in addition, price action is unavoidable when there is a shift of this nature. A move of 10 times would be considered conservative. Taking into consideration the subsequent institutional buying, it is not out of the question that a move of 50 times or even 100 times would be possible. In light of this, what are our next steps? The ball is currently in the court of the JPMorgan boards. They are faced with a decision that will have a significant impact. Are they going to stick with the way things are, or are they going to embrace the new emerging financial frontier, rather of allowing fear and tradition to prevent them from moving? Nung forward, do they courageously guide the globe into the era of blockchain technology? Not only are they hiring a CEO, but they are also sending a message to the entire globe that digital assets are not simply a part of the future. If they go with Brad Garlinghouse, the future lies with them. Additionally, it is important to keep in mind that this information is just beginning to emerge. Additional documents may come to light and additional confirmations may be forthcoming, but what is certain is that we are entering a new chapter, one in which cryptography will no longer require permission. In other words, it merely takes its position at the table. This is the moment that the XRP army has been waiting for, and it appears that it is now going to be closer than it has ever been. I hereby defer. It is important to keep